non-starters. Number 5, A. Meadows.
Hey, what's up everyone? Xavier Sensei here today, presenting you guys another fantastic showdown between the Southeast Seminoles and the St. Stephen Falcons. I'm your host, Xavier Sensei, and we're watching this fantastic game. So now, currently with the starting people for the Southeast Seminoles is number 13, Alea Familia Mirnes, number 8, Kalen Meters, number 7, Kaylin Poole, number 6, Ava Seltzer. I apologize if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. Number 12, Zeta Howard. Number 2, Jalen Parker DP. Number 5, Alira Martinez. Number 10, Zoe Menson. Number 17, Brianna Tober. Number 11, Shariah Butler. And number...
With head coach Javon Carter and assistant coaches S. Bain, J. Matters, and Pratt. Now, for the non-starters for the Lady Noles, number 1, L. Torres. Number 3, K. Isong. Number 9, Ariel Pitts. And number 16, N. Arroyo. Now, for the starters, number 13, A. Familia.
Number 8, E. Jackson. Metter. Number 8, A. Disford. Number 9.
Number 6, A. Number 12, G. Howard. Number 2, J. Parker. Number 5, A. Martinez. Number 10, G. Henson. Number 17, D. Collins. And number 11, S. Bustetter. Now, can you please have a rise in a moment of silence to begin the national anthem? Now, for today's team sponsors, Ghetto Toyota of Bradenton, Lens Roofing, Waterboy Inc., the bottled water suppliers, Sarasota Ford, Kona Ice, Estiva Credit Union, Deals Landscaping, Stan Remo Pizza and Pasta, Mad Mark Stereo, Woodruff and Sons Construction, Boston Elementary School, and Cox Chevrolet. Thank you.
Orange drip, roll blue wave, gray in the dirt, white lace stay late, line chalk tight, keep bike that's fake, double up deep, whole squad home plate, east side out, with their head down 41, sun on the rise up, game just begun, from the keys to the front, been running all week, now it's bright lights, big six, fast speed on the beat. up high on the east side. East side on training me. East side to the death of me. How we ride. East side they go one time for the lady Seminoles side. Red, white on the curve. East side to the death of me. Six ball quick, catch it throw ice. Rise ball jump, had it chasing that slide. Shortstop slick, turn 209. Outfield second, running down things twice. We do got things when we bless that bad. Whole crowd moves when we wave that flag.
Okay, let's fight. Ball.
She can't bunt on 2 strikes. She bunts straight on college. She's not gonna bunt anymore. Go, Barkley, you got it.
For the St. Stephen Falcons is B. Wafield. I apologize for pronouncing the names wrong. And Caitlin Poole is going to be, not Caitlin Poole, but number 11 is going to be pitching for the Southeast Seminoles.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hey, watch 2 guys.
All right, and the Lady Seminoles successfully catch that pitch. Great job, guys. All right, and number 11, Soraya, is going to be getting ready to pitch again.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ready to pitch again here. Throws the ball and catches it. And I believe, yep, number 2 is safe for the St. Stephen Falcons on their end.
Hey, we got it.
3 balls, 2
Guys
strikes.
on 1. Outfield, hit your present 2.
All right.
Now, number 10 next to the bat.
All right, so number 11 here is going to get ready to throw a underhand fast pitch up over here, and actually it fumbles the ball here, and Falcons are successfully 1-0 with the Southeast Seminoles. And number 9 point here, number 3 from the St. Stephen Falcons make it to the third base, potentially they can get 2-0 already in the start of the first inning. Nice job. Number 10 will be batting for the St. Stephen Falcons. Number 10 being a Aranet. Apologize for the names are being mispronounced. All right, and Shariah will be throwing the ball fast, and that's a hit for the St. Stephen Falcons. And Caitlin Poole unsuccessfully catches the ball, preparing and throwing it to second base. And number 3 from St. Stephen Falcons makes it 2-0 for the St. Stephen Falcons by number 3.
Number 13, Jackson.
And number 10 for the St. Stephen Falcons has currently made it to the second base here. And apparently throwing some room coach here. And number 13 for St. Stephen Falcons, excuse me, will be F. Jackson for the St. Stephen Falcons, batting up for the St. Stephen Falcons. Shariah throws the fastball and misses it. And number 10 makes it to base 3 here, potentially making the score 3-0. Shariah throws a fastball here, catches it successfully. Nice job. Nice job at the Southeast Seminoles. And honestly, currently what's happening here, I think the Southeast Seminoles here have honest to God, a great defense here. The way that Shariah is absolutely throwing the ball under fast and actually throwing it with speed, they're definitely improving upon the males baseball from the last TriCast earlier. Generally, they're doing really good. However, I think some minor things could be slightly improved, but overall, I think the Lady Noles, excuse me, I should be addressed by that term. The Lady Noles should be able to take this over successfully and easily against the St. Stephen Falcons. And currently now it makes it 3-0 with the St. Stephen Falcons, making it 3 home runs. Or 3 people that made it to fourth base. And number 13 will be batting up for the St. Stephen Falcons. Right through the fastball and successfully catches it. Nice job, Lady Noles.
3 balls, 1 strike.
And that's a strike. Or that's a walk, excuse me, I apologize.
Next up to bat for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 13, Eve Jackson.
Yeah, you're right, you're good. All right, and next up for number 13, actually, no, I apologize. Apparently they're taking a timeout here. And while the Southeast Seminoles and St. Stephen Falcons are taking a timeout, I would love to take a moment to actually appreciate some of our sponsors here. Some of our sponsors I'd like to shout out to Waterboy Inc. or Bottled Water Supplier. Then this timeout was brought to you by Kona Ice. Kona Ice also brought to you by this timeout. Achieva Credit Union, Diaz Landscaping, San Romero Pizza and Pasta, Mad Marker Stereo, Woodruff and Son Construction, Bayshaw Elementary School, Cox Chevrolet, Gentel Toyota of Bradenton, and Lens Roofing. Thank you guys very much for your support with the Southeast Seminoles. We don't know where we'd be without you. Thank you guys very much for your support. All love to these people.
Now batting for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 18, A. Despard.
All right, and now batting for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 18, A. Desperin. Number 11 throws a fastball and catches it successfully. And it looks like from my point here, number 18 made it successfully to second base for the Falcons. Number 11 throws a fastball here, misses it, and number 18 makes it to third base for the Falcons, making it almost 4-0. And that's another miss. Falcons are running it, and that's a break. Man, that's a break. Now making that, I believe now, 4-0, if I'm not mistaken.
3-0.
Number 11 throws the ball here. Bats it and misses it. The ball here. So number 11 here, Shariah, I'd like to take a moment to captate on Shariah's pitching here. Shariah is pitching extremely good here because not only is she getting that consistent speed that the Southeast Seminoles need, but as a whole, she's pitching at this fast, consistent rate that the Lady Noles need to actually get. And honestly, I believe if the Lady Noles keep this momentum up, they're going to be able to strike out the St. Stephen Falcons and actually be able to start getting points on their end, which will be very good. Even though the Lady Noles are down 4, they can easily get these points and actually make points and make differences here. And that is currently a strike for the St. Stephen Falcons.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Pitches the ball, misses it, and that's a walk for the St. Stephen Falcons.
Next up to bat for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 9, A. Lee.
Sorry, 5. I couldn't remember her number. 5 for 18, courtesy. 5 for 18, courtesy.
All right, number 5, I apologize. Number 5 actually gets to go walk on first base here. All right, let's see who's playing here. I'm sorry, I apologize. She's running for 18 here. Number 11 throws fastball. This is the base. Number 5 runs it and makes it to second base for the St. Stephen Falcons. All right, and from this point here, now the Falcons get to make it number 9. From my perspective, number 9 gets to make it to. No, actually, number 9 is actually subbing out and leaving point here.
We got 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 and 1.
All right, number 11 throws a fastball here. Catches successfully, catches it. All right here, so once again, throws fastball, catches it, nice. All right, so let's see here. Honestly, like I said, it seems like from what this perspective is happening, I really think that the Lady Noles are actually applying this sense of pressure because like with team competitive games here, you have to apply that early game pressure. Even though it's anyone's game, you got to assert that early ground before anything to get that early upper hand on the opponent team, because then you get this sense of pressure on the other team and causing them to make false plays, or better yet, make terrible pitches or hits and forcing them to make incorrect plays, which allows Southeast on their end to actually get them. And making that person get out safe, unfortunately safe, and makes the second base for the St. Stephen Falcons. And like I said earlier, the Southeast Seminoles are doing extremely good with their, in terms of their pitcher. Shariah is pitching really, really well. This is some of the most prominent pitching I've ever seen so far in this game, and I'm curious to see how this game is going to play out. But like I said, folks, the Lady Noles are really going to have to get that early end defense, not defense, but just that pressure against the Falcons if they want to win this game and really maximize that scoreboard of 15-0 or 12-0, or better yet, just winning and winning by mercy. All right, so Shariah pitches the ball here, catches it. That's a very, very prominent catcher. Shariah is like the underdog of this entire team so far from what I'm seeing here, just throwing fastballs and underhook balls just left and right. Like, this is perfect for the Lady Noles because this can allow them to get those early defense points here. And the Falcons make it 5-0. Once again, the Falcons make it 5-0. However, I still believe that even though the score is 5-0, I believe that the Lady Noles can really pull off something here and actually apply that early game-land pressure like I mentioned earlier here, folks. And honestly, this game is all about strategy. It's not just one player or the other. It's about the whole team composition. If one boat falls down, if one part of the boat falls down, then the whole team's not going to do as well. And number 1 here gets to go to first base, gets to walk. All right, and St. Stephen's is number 8. And number 8 for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 8, Eve Erna, is going to be playing for the Falcons. I apologize for the delay. All right, so once again, Shariah is really, I don't mean to glaze here, but Shariah is really getting that pitching here, that consistent level of pitching here. And honestly, this isn't just good pitching from number 11, but from Caitlin Poole, who's number 7, and just as a whole, like the whole team is just really getting that consistency going as a whole. And I really think that that's going to allow the Lady Noles to really get that early game pressure, like I said earlier. And also, this is all a matter of who's pitching this and who's pitching that. And it's just about who is exactly getting these balls correctly. And it seems like here that the Southeast Seminoles are currently taking a timeout here and rethinking their plan here. And once again, as I mentioned earlier with the timeouts here, I would once again like to give a massive shout out and a warm welcoming to our sponsors here from Waterboy Inc. and San Remodio Pizza and Pasta, Diaz Landscaping, Achieva Credit Union, Kona Ice, Sarasota Ford, Lens Roofing, Gentle Toyota of Bradenton, Mad Mark Steroids, Woodruff Sun and Construction, Bayshall Elementary School, and Cox Chevrolet. We thank you guys very much for your support, and we don't know where we'd be without you guys. And while you guys are at it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for our YouTube channel. Not only are you helping the Southeast Television program itself, you're helping the students here who are dedicating their time, like me, who are dedicating their time and precious hours out of their day to be here, commentating for the game, and also setting up for this specific sport and multiple other sports across Southeast as a whole. And you're supporting the team and club as a whole by adding monetization and getting the word spread out throughout YouTube. So once again, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any time, and it costs you no money. Anyways, back to the game. It seems like here number 11 will still be pitching. Shariah throws the underball here, hits the fence. Number one makes it, now making it 6-2-0 for the St. Stephen Falcons. 6-2-0. 6-2-0, folks. However, even though the score is 6-2-0, I really think that the Lady Noles can really make a difference here, and they can really, like I said, get that early game pressure. All they just have to do is get those 3 strikes out, and it's all hands on deck. Number 11 pitches, and a successful hit from the St. Stephen Falcons, making it number 8 successfully making it to first base. Number 8 is reconsidering her decisions and stays on first base, securing the first point. And seems like here number 11, Backerley Crockets will be batting for the Falcons. M. McLaughlin, I apologize for the name here. M. McLaughlin will be also pitching for the Falcons, and misses the ball here. Oh no, this is not good. And both people from the St. Stephen Falcons will successfully make it to second base here, and they caught it. Oh, apparently there's a call on the play here. Oh. All right, so it seems like one other person apparently striked out here. And like I said, apparently another person striked out, but however, they still secured second base for one person for St. Stephen Falcons. And person I'll be playing here for the St. Stephen Falcons, I'll be batting. Number 2, R. Grohr from the St. Stephen Falcons. I'll be batting for the Falcons. And Shariah once again will be pitching for the Southeast Seminoles. All right, so once again, Shariah is doing, like I said, Shariah's pitching really great. However, I feel like with just in general, I feel like right now the game is all about just them striking out the St. Stephen Falcons. So I feel like if the Southeast Seminoles pitched the ball a little bit faster, specifically Shariah threw the ball a bit faster or threw it at that sweet spot of making them either strike out or making them think that they can get the ball, but in reality can't. And while I'm talking about this, another person at base 3 will also make it. Number 2 will successfully make it to third base, potentially making it 6-2-0. And for those of you guys that are just tuning in real quick, the score currently is 6-0. We are currently still in the first inning here. And as the Falcons are running it here, and apparently that is safe now, making it 7-0. Now the score is 7-0 for the St. Stephen Falcons. And like I said earlier, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, the score is now 7-0, 7 being the Falcons and 0 being the Southeast Seminoles. And like I said earlier, I think really that even though the score is 7-0, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can really get a really big lead here as long as they strike them out. They're just having this trouble of finding that sweet spot of just throwing the ball, and even then, Shariah is actually throwing the ball right, and that is a strike right there. 2 more strikes, and she's out. But regardless, like I say, folks, I really think that the Lady Noles can really capitalize on their capabilities to win. They just have to strike out how they just did right there and find that sweet spot and focusing in and honing in their energy and focusing all in on the ball. And now number 2 will get to walk to first base, and it seems like here number 3 will be walking in on first point. And number 3 for the St. Stephen Falcons, B. Warfield, will be batting up for the St. Stephen Falcons. I'm going to start addressing by the Falcons because that name is too long to pronounce. Same thing with the Southeast Seminoles. All right, so now Shariah will pitch the ball here and is a strike. And number 3 here, from my perspective and from where I can see, they make it successfully to second base here, potentially making the score 8-0, but is not 8-0 yet. And like I said earlier, Shariah, because she's the pitcher, she's going to have to really figure out that sweet spot of not canceling them scores out. Oh, no. Oh, no. And the Falcons are going to make it now successfully 8-0, apparently, for the Falcons now. And like I said earlier, I really think that the Falcons are really only winning because they're able to find this range of being able to actually find the strategy. They have this team composition. They have this game plan that's already going in. I think that the Seminoles can really still win this if they pitch them out or strike. All it takes is one strike. It takes one strike for them to strike someone out, and then boom, it's all hands on deck, like I said earlier. And that's a ball. And honestly, too, it's not even the team that's struggling. It's just that they're just having one issue that's causing the whole game for them to slip up like 8-0 right now. It's currently 8-0 for those of you that are just tuning in as well. And like I said earlier, just the team needs to get that sweet spot of striking these players out. If they can strike these players out, they can for sure have a shot, if not taking over the team lead and actually winning, for those of you that are just tuning in. And once again, Shariah will be pitching for the Southeast Seminoles, throwing the ball. And that's a hit for the St. Stephen Falcons, running it. And that is unsuccessful by Caitlin Poole, number 7. And number 3 will make it to second base successfully. And once again, I think even right there, like, it's just the small mistakes that add up to the hazardous problems that are preventing the team from winning. I think that if Caitlin Poole would have caught that ball right there, that would have been an automatic out, and that would have gotten the Lady Noles one step closer to actually getting that change of position here for the Lady Noles and the St. Stephen Falcons. And currently playing for the St. Stephen Falcons, or batting, number 10, A. Arnett. I apologize if the names are being mispronounced when I'm working with what I got here. And now the score is currently 9-0. Score is currently not 9-0. I apologize. Yeah, I apologize. No, forget what I said. It's not 9-0. It is 8-0. I thought someone crossed fourth base. Please forgive me on that. However, it could be 9-0 if they hit the base, if they hit the ball fast enough, and where number 3 runs fast enough as well. And honestly, from what I'm noticing here, the Falcons are actually getting a little bit greedy and are actually stepping out of base. So I really think Shariah can, I don't know if he can do this in softball, but I think what Shariah can do is, if the Falcons are getting a little bit greedy, they can throw the ball at the base 3, from my perspective here, number 3 is sitting at and can actually hit the ball and actually get number 3 out, preventing a whole point from getting in there and actually causing another out. And like I said, it says finding these little opportunities is what makes the difference of you winning or losing the game, and that's significant. And nice, that is absolute pitching right there by Shariah. Nice job, Shariah. And from what's happening here, for those of you just tuning in, the score is currently 8-0. Score is currently 8-0 by the Falcons. And number 10, not number 10. Number 10 gets successfully to walk to first base here, and number 3 will be able to walk to third base, now potentially making the score up to 10-0, not the actual score being 10-0. And up next, that's that's batting for the Falcons here is number 13, A.E. Jackson for the St. Stephen Falcons. And like I said earlier here, the score could be up to 10-0 here, but it's not. However, now it's 9-0 here. Now that's 1 point for the St. Stephen Falcons by number 3, and successfully taking first and second base for the St. Stephen Falcons by number 4, from my perspective, and number 13, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and what's seeing here, number 18 will be batting up. A. Despernard.
Number 18, A. Despard.
A. Despard will be batting up for the St. Stephen Falcons. And now number 18 will make it up to third base, potentially making the score 10-0, not the actual score yet. All right, and once again, I think Shariah can really pitch here and really strike out this individual right here. He catches the ball successfully, which is nice. I really think just like what's happening with the game currently, the team is not necessarily struggling on the game itself. They're struggling on just getting this consistent like striking in for them. They're having that problem of finding the sweet range. They've got. Is that going to hit here? Hold on. Ooh. Barely just touching the fence. However, like I said earlier, I really think that the problem with what's happening right now with the Southeast Seminoles is that currently we have the speed. We got the speed down. We got the force of it, or the velocity of the ball being thrown. It's that we're not throwing it to where the Falcons are thinking they can strike, because as long as they don't hit the ball, they will get a walk through first base. And now the score is currently... She's safe. She's currently 10-0. Currently 10-0, folks. 10-0. 10 being the Falcons, 0 being the Southeast Seminoles. And another thing I'd also like to point out too is that the little opportunities where they can catch the ball, I feel like they missed it and they're causing them points. So not with that, but just a little criticism I'd like to point out here. I really think just in general, the team is great. The composition is great. The game plan strategy is great. It's that now we need to focus on almost hitter, and now gets to go on a walk for 18, now making it first base. And even then, it's just the smallest mistakes that are adding up to the biggest and most critical moments in this entire game, which is causing them whole points. And if they pay attention to those minor mistakes, I really think that they can literally adapt mid-game and can actually change the results and outcome of this currently. So as a whole, right now, I think the Southeast Seminoles need to capitate on what's happening here. And I think, honestly, because what's happening, they have the speed. If they have another pitcher here for the Southeast Seminoles here, I really think that they can actually capitate on taking a lead on the Falcons. And that was a nice catch. And is that an out? Out. And that is successfully an out. And that's a change of position for the Lady Noles. Congratulations, Southeast Seminoles. So now we'll have a change of position, batting up for the Southeast Seminoles and the Falcons fielding. And currently, while we're taking a minute for these timeouts and getting the change of position going, I'd like to give a little shout out to all of our sponsors: General Toyota Bridgington, Lens Roofing, Waterboy Inc., also water bottle supplier, Sarasota Ford, Kona Ice, Achieva Credit Union, Diesel Landscaping, San Ramon Pizza and Pasta, Madmark Stereo, Woodruff and Sons Construction, Bashaw Elementary School, and Cox Chevrolet. We thank you guys very much for your support. We don't know where we'd be without you. And while we're also taking a moment to make these shout outs, please sure to leave a like and subscribe and a comment here as well. Not only would we appreciate if you guys liked and subscribe, it's free. You can unsubscribe at any time. You're promoting the YouTube channel and spreading the word out. You're helping the kids that are dedicating time like me to Southeast Television and are also getting the word out. And you're also helping fund and monetize by getting more viewers into this video and broadcast. We thank you guys very much for your support, and we don't know where we're without you, and I'll be back after these few messages. Alrighty, welcome back to the Southeast Seminoles game against the St. Stephen Falcons. Currently, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, the score is currently 10-0 with the Falcons being 10 and the Seminoles being 0. However, as we just came back from this little commercial break here, the Southeast Seminoles just had a change of position here, which can not only, like I said in previous broadcasts if you were still watching, which can give the Southeast Seminoles a great lead and advantage here. And here for the Lady Noles, and the first person that's pitching up for number 13, A Familia, for number 13 for the Lady Noles. All right, and I'm quite curious because this is the first time that the Southeast Seminoles here are going to be pitching not pitching, excuse me, batting. So I'm curious to see how the batting game is going to be playing out because Shariah, number 11, was pitching extremely, really good. However, I'm quite curious to see how the batting game is going to par up with their pitching game for those of you that are tuning in. And those of you that are just tuning in as well, once again, the score is 10-0, 10 being the St. Stephen Falcons and 0 being the Southeast Seminoles. However, that number is going to change. Ooh, that was a close hit here. And that was a fastball by number 2 from the St. Stephen Falcons. Okay, number 2 is going to go ahead and pitch again for the St. Stephen Falcons. And, ooh, that's a foul ball. Oh, foul ball there. If the bat would have hit literally towards like 45 degrees to the left, that would have been like a third base, not third base. That would have been guaranteed like the second base run for number 13. For number 13 for the Lady Noles. Okay, nice call for number 13 here. So number 13 here is focusing on batting correctly. Number 2 is getting ready to pitch here. And something I'm noticing about with number 2 is going to be pitching the ball relatively the same way he always does. And number 13 is going to be running it, and that's an out. Unfortunately for number 13, making the outs 1-3.
Next up for the Lady Noles, number 8.
And number 8 for the Lady Noles, K. Metters for the Lady Noles. Right, pitches the ball. Ooh, and that's a strike. Pitch the ball here. Number 2 is getting ready to pitch the ball, and while Kaylin is getting ready to bat. And that's another strike. One more strike, and she's out. All right. All right, so number 8 is getting ready to bat here. Remember, if she swings out once wrong, it's a strike, and she's out. That's now a ball. Great call on the play there. And honestly, too, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles have a great bat game from what I've seen here. And their striking power, if I want to add on to this, their striking power is like really good in terms of how they're hitting the ball. It's just so much about timing it and seeing when you can throw it out. And number 7, not pitching, but batting up for the Southeast Seminoles, Kaylin Poole. Kaylin Poole will be batting up for the Southeast Seminoles. And I'm quite curious to see how she bats the ball here, too. All right, so number 2 here, beginning to pitch the ball here for the Falcons. And that's 1 strike for Kaylin Poole, 2 more, and she's out. And if she gets 2 more strikes out, then that's a change of position for the Southeast Seminoles back to pitching from batting. All right, so Kaylin Poole getting ready. And that's a hit! And run, Kaylin. Oh, and that's an out for the Southeast Seminoles, changing them back to pitching. And for those of you that are just tuning in now, we are now in the 2nd inning, making it 10-0. And while we're at it again, once again, I would love to give the most sincere shout-outs to all of our sponsors, as previously mentioned before: Intel Toyota Brennington, Lens Roofing, Waterboy Inc., Sarasota Ford, Kona Ice, Shiva Credit Union, Diaz Landscaping, San Ramon Pizza and Pasta, Mad Mark Stereos, Woodruff and Sons Construction, Bashaw Elementary School, and Cox Chevrolet. We thank you guys very much for your support. And matter of fact, while we're out here tonight, as we're out here tonight, I want to give you guys a little moment here to please leave a like and subscribe. Not only does it, once again, and like I said before, help out the community for SETV, but allows the people that are dedicating their time here to actually get money from this club. You're funding the club by monetization, and you're getting the video and the word out to people all over the internet, and as a whole, you're just spreading the word out, and you're helping people from SETV, and you're helping all the students who are dedicating their time here. Now, anyways, back to the game for the Southeast Seminoles and the Falcons. And for those of you that are just tuning on back in, the Southeast Seminoles did just get back from batting, and we're currently now in the 2nd inning here, making it now still 10-0, unfortunately. However, I do believe that the Southeast Seminoles, like I said earlier, if Shaylin, or number 11, can really find that sweet range, because once again, she has the speed, she has that consistency. She just has to make the Falcons actually strike out, and it's all over for the Falcons, and the Seminoles can really take a massive lead here and capitate on the 10-point loss right now. And like I said too earlier, I really think that the team is not struggling on getting the actual points or necessarily the major components of softball, but it's just a matter of actually getting but getting this point of like finding that consistency like I mentioned before.
Waiting for equipment? Just interchange, you know, third and cut you. Yes, sir. Yep, got it. Thanks. Okay, coupling down here. Here we go. Coupling down. Keep moving.
Jose, coming down!
Here we go. Play.
All right, for those of you guys that are just tuning on back in here, the Southeast Seminoles are now back to pitching for the Southeast Seminoles here. Unfortunately, they lost change of position for the ball and are now stuck back to pitching, and Shreya is going to be pitching as well, also number 11 for the Southeast Seminoles. And now a successful ball here for the Lady Noles. And like I said earlier, I feel like the Southeast Seminoles can really take the lead here if they just find that striking range and that consistency. If they can do that, I really, honest to God, I really think that they can take that lead that they need to take. And it's all about finding that sweet positioning on where they're striking the ball. So for example, the way that Shreya is pitching is absolutely great. She's underhooking the ball and throwing it at that fast velocity. That's great. Positioning, great. The ball grip and everything else about throwing the ball and positioning it, absolutely great. But where the ball is landing, we need to focus on getting that towards the bat to where it's too fast for them to hit and then they force a strike rather than them being able to walk on first base how they just did. And currently, number 1 for the St. Stephen Falcons is G. Harold. G. Harold is going to be batting for the St. Stephen Falcons. And as long as, ooh, that was a close one. And they also make it to second base here for St. Stephen Falcons, but just not even just making second base here, but I really think that right now the St. Stephen Falcons have one of the biggest vulnerabilities that I'm seeing is that they just will not strike the ball only when they absolutely think that they see it. Because from my understanding, obviously, they're not going to try to waste a strike on that. You only get 3 and you're out. So they have to be resourceful and they have to be manageable. I really think that if Shreya can actually pitch the ball to the point where it's close to the bat, but it's too fast. Because like I said, they got that speed, they got the momentum, they got the positioning. If they throw it like that and literally aim it towards the bat, but to where it's too fast for them to hit, they can strike them out. In my opinion, my professional opinion as a commentator, I think that at least that can be an easy way for them to take a massive lead on the St. Stephen Falcons if necessary. And now number 1 gets a walk on first base here, and now they got another person on second base for the Falcons. Now potentially making the score 12-0. However, mercy rule could come into effect if they have a 15-point lead after 3 innings. However, we're only in the top of 2 innings. All right, and as we're coming back here, currently now the St. Stephen Falcons currently have someone at second base and third base, potentially making the score 12-0. However, that is not the actual score. Yeah, it's just potentially they can get up to 2 additional points. And Shirai will be pitching again, and that's a strike. And you see right there, that example, I know it sounds like I'm glazing, but this is exactly what it takes for them to strike them out. They need to find that sweet range. They need to just throw the ball at that exact consistent rate where they think they can hit the ball, but in reality they can't. Like that, right there, another strike, 2 strikes, 1 more strike, and she's out. And then I can say that more, too. All right, number 11 will be getting ready to pitch here. Hopefully she can find that sweet range of pitching the ball. And unfortunately, no, that will be not. And now the score for the Falcons is 11-0. I'll say it again. The score with the Falcons is 11-0. And now potentially the score could be 12-0. But in general, the score, for those of you that are just tuning on in again, the score is 11-0. I'll say it again for those of you who did miss that. The score is 11-0. We're currently in the top of the 2nd inning here. And the score could also go up to 12-0, however, if they hit the ball. And number 8 gets the walk on first base. And now we're getting another player into the field here.
For the Falcons, number 11, M. McLaughlin.
And from what I'm seeing here, I can't see the number here. And I would love to say the person that's walking up on point. Number 11, M. McKylan is going to be batting for the St. Stephen Falcons, and 11, Shariah, is going to be pitching still once again. However, though, I really think it's time that we get a new pitcher here for the Southeast Seminoles that can pitch just as good as Shariah. If there's no other pitcher that can pitch as well as Shariah, then we should keep Shariah on here. But generally, I think that it's just finding that this interval and this range of finding where exactly, how I should pitch the ball and whatnot. And unfortunately for the Southeast Seminoles, that is a foul ball, unfortunately. All right, and Shirai will be getting ready to pitch the ball once again. And like I said earlier, just that Shirai needs to find that sweet range of throwing the ball. If they can, like that, that's another foul ball for them, like that. Right there, that is exactly what they need to be doing, finding that sweet range of finding that, like that kind of edge towards the bat, and then throwing it just fast enough to where when they're hitting it or attempting to swing, they miss, and then that gets a strike on them, even though that they could have hit it, excuse me. And now I can't see the number here, but it seems like number 7 will be getting up to second base here, and third base now making the score potentially 13-0. That is not the actual score. I'm keeping count. And that is a hit, and that's an out. And now it is 11-0, now making it 12-0 for the St. Stephen Falcons. Great job on Southeast Seminoles for getting 1 out. 2 more outs, and we're switching position. And number 2 for the St. Stephen Falcons, number 2, R. Gore. And once again, for those of you guys just tuning in, the score is 12-0. I'll say it again, 12-0. Oh, now it's 13-0 because of that pitch, or that batting. Score is now 13-0. 13-0 for those of you that are just tuning on in. And just generally right now, I think that Shirai is fine. She has that range. The problem is not even so dictated on just, oh, the team sucks or oh, the team is bad. That's not the issue. The issue is that they're having this issue of finding that sweet spot and throwing the ball at the position that they exactly need it to be. Because otherwise, if they don't, then they're gonna be stuck in this paradox of being 12-0 right now. Or actually, I apologize, 13-0 because of the person that's coming in. Actually, sorry, foul ball now, and number 3 gets a walk on first base, and everyone gets 1 base additionally where they originally at. So now number 3 gets to go to base 3. All right, so currently right now the score could be potentially almost 15-0. All right, and those of you that are just tuning in, the current outs right now is 1. We have 1 out. They got 2 more outs and then change of position here. And the Falcons running it now 14-0. Once again, the score with the Falcons is now 14-0 by number 2, our Gore. And now that score can actually go up by 1 more additional point if they make it 1 pitch here and making 1 more bat. Not one more bat, 1 more base here, making the score 15-0. But the actual score, folks, is 14-0. I'm just keeping you guys updated because I'm a good commentator. Oop. And she's running it, and now that's 15-0 for the Falcons. And now, currently, for those of you just tuning in on here, once again, I'd like to keep you guys updated and whatnot. The outings for the Southeast Seminoles is 1. They need 2 more outs, and then it's changed position, obviously, and then the Southeast Seminoles will go to bat, and the Falcons will be back to pitching. And the score currently is 15-0. And like I said earlier, too, Shariah really has to find the game is basically in Shariah's hands right now. She has to find this range of throwing the ball at the bat at some distance where they're not getting these free bases and just walking. Because if Shariah keeps pitching the ball at this point where, oh, she was out.
Next up for the Falcons, number 13.
Okay, I apologize. I'm trying to listen here. I thought there was a call on the play here, but I guess there was not. I apologize for that. But like I said earlier now, score is currently 15-0 already, and it's in the 2nd inning. And if the Seminoles do not get their score up, the game will end by mercy rule. And for those of you that are wondering, well, Xavier, what is exactly the mercy rule? The mercy rule occurs in one of 2 ways. A, there's a 15-point lead after 3 innings, or a 10-point lead after 4 to 5 innings. And right now, currently, oh, and unfortunately, that is not an out for the St. Stephen Falcons, successfully securing 2 bases on 1 base, base 1 and base 2, unfortunately. And like I was saying, too, the mercy rule will take an effect after 3 innings if the score is 15-0. For those of you that are just tuning in, it is top of 2 innings, meaning it is the first half of the 2nd inning for softball, meaning we really only have about 2 innings left if the Southeast Seminoles do not find a way to actually get this sense of being able to get out of this being 15-0 sense. And now the Falcons make it to 3rd base, potentially making the score 16-0. And currently they have 1 out, 2 more outs, and it's change of position time, folks. Alrighty, so currently, like I said earlier, Shariah just has to find that consistent range of actually batting. And like that, that's all it takes sometimes. And even then, earlier too, I pointed this out. I noticed that the Falcons are getting a little bit greedy in terms of getting towards the left so they can get like more, like not more, but less running time towards the bases. I think they should be able to look at the base if one of the players for the Falcons are overextending a little bit, and they can just like absolutely like throw the ball at them and get them out and getting that 2nd out that they need. Because at this point in the game, every out counts. Every singular strike, every singular ball, and every singular prevention will be good. Oh! Unfortunately, that is not an out, and now the score is 16-0 for the Falcons, unfortunately. And even then, it's just the smallest mistakes that the Southeast Seminoles are making. If they literally just run and extend and put, I'm not saying put a little more effort, folks, I didn't say that, but if they actually run in and pay close attention to the ball here, because I noticed that like the lights are a little bit blinding for the players, so I can see why that's a little bit of an issue. But if they pay attention to how the ball is being pitched, and they keep their eyes on the ball and actually paying attention, and even again, that was just an unlucky catch. So that, and again, that happens. It's part of the game. And now the score currently is actually 17-0 now. 17-0 once again, and we currently have 1 out and 2 more outs, and we're changing positions, folks. And like I said earlier too, this game is all about strategy. It's all about resources. The resources in this case are the strikes and the balls. The Falcons are utilizing a great time in just keeping themselves from not striking, because if they don't strike at all, and matter of fact, they don't even lay a finger on the bat and just stay idle, how I can't see the number here, how the person that's currently batting is, they'll be able to just walk first base, and those would be just essentially farming points without doing anything almost, because of them being able to have a ball and walking on first base. However, I honestly think that in order for them to actually counterplay this, I really think that they need to actually pay attention to who's running and actually stopping them from like successfully traveling to first base. And they make it now to first base here. And from my point of view, number 1 will be batting up for the St. Stephen Hawkins, not Stephen Hawkins, the St. Stephen's Falcons, the St. Stephen Falcons, G. Hornred. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing the names here. But honestly, I feel like at this point, it's a little bit of how fast they're pitching the ball, but I also think they're just letting them get onto the base so easily, and they're not trying to do anything about it. Because take a look at first base, for example. She was already ready to gun in into the second base and into the third base. If they pay attention to this and actually try to strike them out, they're going to actually maybe get those outs that they need and actually change this and actually make it to where the game is in their hands. If they actually do this, I think that the Seminoles can really turn the game over and not just focusing on getting the speed, how I mentioned earlier, because the speed and the pitching is just the crumble cookie of the game, folks. This is about what are they exactly striking out? Because if they're just focusing on one part of batting and pitching, they're never going to win the game, and they're always going to lose 0-15, 0-17 if they do not focus like that right there, like that right there, like what Kaylin Poole did, number 7. If they focus on actually catching those little greedy plays and those overextending people for the Falcons, they're going to eventually get enough outs, and they're going to be able to change positions because of them catching that. And now number 1 ball, and now gets to walk in, and everyone gets to walk in at first point. And currently right now, if everyone gets to fourth base here, the score could be 20-0 for the Falcons. However, that is not the actual score. I'm keeping that up for you guys because I'm a great commentator. All right. So, and like I said earlier, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles and the Lady Noles have to really just catch these guys, these girls from overextending. Because take a look at base 3 and base 1. They are already ready to run by that point. Now the score is 18-0. Currently 18-0. Once again, I'll say it again. The score is 18-0. 18 the Falcons and 0 being the Seminoles. And like I said earlier too, if you pay attention to base 3 over there and base 2, they're already almost getting ready to run in for just getting into home plate. All right, so Shariah is going to be pitching here. A nice pitch. She's going. And now she is safe, securing the 19-point lead for the St. Stephen Falcons. And again, the team itself for Southeast Seminoles is doing extremely good. I love the performance that Shariah is doing in terms of her pitching. Her pitching is one of the best I've seen in the game so far, and it's just in general doing really good. I just think that they really have to find just this consistent range of being able to find the ball here. And it seems like they made a quick timeout. Yeah, they did a huddle up for a second, and now they're just gathering themselves back in. Yeah, they're gathering themselves back in here, and will be now pitching. Never Shariah will be throwing the ball in, and now the score is now 22-0 for the Falcons. 22-0 for the Falcons. Once again, I'll say it again. 22-0 for the Falcons. All right, and that's a hit for the St. Stephen Falcons. Number 11 will make it to the first base. That number 11 will make. All right, so for those of you that are just tuning in currently, the score currently right now, as you can see in the top left-hand corner of our screen here, the score currently is now 22-0, 20 being the St. Stephen Falcons and the Southeast Seminoles being nothing. However, the St. Stephen Falcons could get 21-0 if the person that just... Oh, apparently, yeah, they're actually... Oh, wow. Okay, so apparently there's a timeout call into play here. So once again, guys, as we're kind of getting over to this point in the game here, I'd like to give a little shout out to our sponsors here. I'd like to shout out our sponsors: Gentle Toyota Bradenton, Lens Roofing, Waterboy Inc., Sarasota Ford, Kona Ice, Achieva Credit Union, Diaz Landscaping, San Romero Pizza and Pasta, Wood Roof and Sons Constructions, Bashaw Elementary School, and Cox Chevrolet. We thank you guys very much for your support. We don't know where we'd be without you, without the matter of the fact that you guys are carrying our funding. We thank you guys very much for your support. You're helping out people that could potentially get scholarships, athletic offerings. We thank you guys very much for your support. All right, and as well as we're still in this timeout here, I'd like to take a moment for you guys to please leave a like and subscribe for our YouTube channel. Not only are you helping out the community for SETV, but as a whole, you are helping out the people that are dedicating their time towards Southeast Television. You're allowing the people of this broadcast to earn viewers, subscribers, and likes, and this platform and this growth and advertisement for the channel. And subscribing is completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time you want later. You can personalize your notifications you get from us, and liking is completely free as well. You don't have to worry about it. Free of cost. Everything on YouTube is obviously free as well. So please, once again, please like and subscribe the Southeast Television Club. We love your help. We love your support, and every viewer counts, and every viewer helps. You guys very much support. We don't know where we'd be without you, and I don't know where I'd be without you guys. And currently, for those of you guys that are also just tuning in, the score currently is 20-0. Once again, the score is 22-0. And also, if you guys have an Instagram as well, please go follow at SETV. It is at SETV. We have a logo. It is the Seminole head with the name SETV. Like, you literally can't miss it. Just look up SETV. You will find our name there. If you have an Instagram, please go follow us as well. You're also helping out promote our Instagram channel even more, and you're also helping out get the name reached. Now, back to the game. So currently, right now, for those of you guys who are just tuning in here, the scoreboard is 20-0, 20 being the St. Stephen Falcons and 0 being the Southeast Seminoles. And the Southeast Seminoles here are actually being able to bat here by mercy. So now they're being able to bat. And that was a foul ball. And that was a foul ball by number 6. Number 6 here being Ava Celestier. I apologize for the mispronounced names. I have 2 different rosters here, so please hang in here with me. All right, that is the ball here. Great call on the bat here. And once again, I really think that now that the Southeast Seminoles now have the opportunity to actually bat and really like swing the ball, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can really not only get a lead here, but I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can start racking up those points as needed and actually get an advantage. Matter of fact, even stopping the mercy rule coming into effect. And also for those of you guys who are just tuning in as well, not only is the score obviously 20-0, and we're back to 0 outs, but also we're currently second bottom of the inning, meaning after this inning, after both teams switch, we'll be in the 3rd inning. And now number 6 successfully gets a walk on first base. Great job, Ava. And now currently up next for the Southeast Seminoles, number 12, Z Howard will be batting up for the Southeast Seminoles. And now that the Southeast Seminoles has first base here, I'm really curious to see how this is happening, and she's already eager to get to second base by her hitting the ball. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. Pitches the ball. Unfortunately, that is a strike. She better get back to the first base before they catch her, and that's an out for the Seminoles and a vantage point to the Falcons. She's getting ready to pitch, throws, ball. Nice call on the play here. And once again, they're getting prepared to bat the ball. And honestly here too, this is one of the moments where this is really going to count, and this is going to determine if they win or lose the game, if they really focus in here. Unfortunately, that is a second strike, and however, number 6 is running. And unfortunately, number 6 is in, successfully taking second place. Successfully taking second base for the Southeast Seminoles here. All right. All right, so as we're coming in here too now, we're also coming into timeout. And honestly, this is one of the rare opportunities that are happening in the game here, and I'm quite curious to see the batting skills and performance that are happening here. But generally, I really think that if they start playing their cards right and they really play to the game, I really think that right now, I seriously think that the Seminoles can really start getting those points, as I mentioned earlier. And really, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, the team was only being held back because of the fact that they were stuck in this endless paradox of just pitching over and over and over again and just not able to find that sweet spot of hitting the bat, or not hitting the bat necessarily, but finding that spot where they can throw it at the bat and then have it just fast enough where it passes through, and then the Falcons are striking on their end and are missing those points that they actually need. All right, so now number 12 gets to walk on base here, and number 2 will be getting to bat up here. Number 2 being Jalen Parker. Jalen Parker will be getting ready to bat on the play here. And now currently the Southeast Seminoles have one player on base 1 and another player on second base. The first base and the second base. All right, and as we're continuing to bat up,
5.
All right, as we're continuing this game, folks, the Southeast Seminoles, in my opinion, they're doing extremely good now because, like I said earlier, the only reason why right now the team is losing 22-0 right now is literally only because they were stuck pitching for 2.5 innings. And I really think that right now, if the Southeast Seminoles can get this point of striking the ball right there, if they can run it. Oh, however, they made it to third and second base, potentially making the score 20-2 for the Southeast Seminoles, scoring for the first time in the whole game. However, though, if the Southeast Seminoles want to prevent the mercy rule from happening, if the Southeast Seminoles want to prevent the mercy rule from happening, they are going to need to at least get 5 points in, So the Southeast Seminoles have to literally make the score 20-6 in order for the in order for the game not to end at third inning. That's strike 2. All right, let's see what's going to happen here. Pitches the ball. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the ball was going to hit the gate here, but no, it looked like it was coming right at me, but no, it didn't. Thank the Lord. Got to keep it family friendly, guys.
One ball, 2
however, no, fumble the ball, and that's 20-1 for the Southeast Seminoles. However, that now is at the end of the game, and the Noles lose another one. Unfortunately, the final score from what's happening here will be 20-1. Wait, I don't think the game is over. Wait, what? Wait, the game's not over. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. The game's not over. I'm sorry, hold on. No, the game is not over apparently. So the game is currently 20-1 with the Southeast Seminoles being 1 point and the Falcons being 120. The score currently is 20-1. Currently, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, apparently it's third inning. I apologize for that because I thought the mercy rule would play into effect, but for those of you tuning in once again, the score is 20-1. I'll say it one more time for those guys that didn't catch it, 20-1. But apparently the game is at third inning. It doesn't end at third inning. It has to go into the third inning and actually stop at 4 inning top, which is funny. That video game threw us off. So we apologize for that. I don't control this. I'm just a commentator. I just work here. I apologize for this, guys. All right, and as we're currently into this timeout and as we're entering into the third inning by a shocking surprise revelation, we want to take a moment, guys. If you guys can please leave a like and subscribe for the YouTube channel and for the Instagram. We guys we would absolutely appreciate it, because not only are you helping out promoting Southeast Television as a whole, but you're getting the viewers, you're getting the content out, and you're also allowing Southeast Television to actually make monetization and money by you literally just watching. And don't worry, subscribing is totally free, liking is totally free, and everything you do on YouTube and other platforms is completely free too, unless it says there's a price to pay. And as well, subscribing on YouTube to our channel specifically is completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time, and it's free of cost. And our Instagram, if you guys would like to go follow, it is literally SETV. Just type in the number, type in the letters SETV, and you will find our Instagram. You can also go follow there too if you would like to follow there as well. And anyways, I'm sorry, I apologize. There is a grammar error on the Instagram. It was SEHTV. But regardless, type in the letters SETV, and you will find our Instagram regardless. And please follow us there. Anyways, back to the game here. The Southeast Seminoles are now back to pitching for the third time in this entire game. That we are on top in third inning here. If the Southeast Seminoles do not get any points or strike out and go back to batting, by the time bottom 3 inning reaches and ends, we will end the game by mercy rule. And for those of you that do not know high school softball at the varsity level, this is currently varsity level for those of you just tuning in. There are 7 innings for a standard high school softball varsity game. And there are currently 3 outs. Obviously works kind of like baseball as well, so please keep that in mind. And we're currently top on 3 innings. If, like I said earlier, if Southeast does not get those points that they need, mercy rule will come into effect and the whole game will end, and the Southeast Seminoles will lose another one. And that's a strikeout for number 2, and that's out. And actually, no, that's ball, excuse me. So now number 2 will be able to go back and bat. Also, for those of you that like to come and regularly watch our broadcast, I would like to update you guys on the calendar, and I'm probably going to start doing this starting this broadcast and further beyond. For those of you guys that want to tune in at our next broadcast on March 2nd, this Monday coming up, not last Monday, but this Monday coming up on March 2nd, we will have a baseball TriCaster. It will be Southeast. I do not have information yet on who will actually be going up against the Southeast Seminoles that game, but I would like to keep you guys on hot dial for that game as well. I will give you guys more information as that time comes around during the this TriCaster as well. And once again, I'll repeat it again. If you guys like to come in and watch our next baseball TriCaster for the boys, you can happily do so on March 2nd at 6 p.m. Hard 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. preferably. And that's a strike for number 10. All right, for those of you that are just tuning in as well, the score now currently is 22-1 because I didn't see the play here, but the St. Stephen Falcons just batted the ball and hit the ball to the point where 2 players were able to walk on home base and was successfully able to capture 2 additional points, now making it 22-1. And that's another hit for the, nope, foul ball. Fortunately for a foul ball for the Falcons. And now they get to go back in and bat.
Next up for the Falcons, number 18.
Buddy, straighten it up now. You got it. 1-1.
You got it, David. You got 13. Come on. You got it, 13. Come on. Good eye, Emma. You got it. Go, Emma. Oh, yes. Nice, Uriah. Hands up, one, go one, watch clear at two. Hey, love, you ready? One out. Oh, yeah. Come on, LC. No, my God, no. You're good. Oh, you're good, Emma. RBA.
Good job. Good job. Go, lady.
Okay, come on, you got it. Go, LC.
All right, here. And for those of you that are just tuning back in, the score currently is 22-1. I do not believe they have any outs yet. And all that gets up. Shariah is pitching. Ooh, and that hits her right in the back, getting another free ball and walk on first base.
All good? All good down here?
Yes, my runner. You took it like a champ. I'm good. It's just freezing. That's my first.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Take this.
Next up for the Falcons, number 9, A. Leaf.
All right. Like I said, I really think that Shariah can, like the game, like I said earlier in what's happening, the game is all on the pitcher and the person that's catching it. I really think that right now, I think that as long as Shariah is able to throw the ball fast enough and they're able to catch the ball like that, if they're able to catch the ball like this, I really think that they're able to actually win. And not even necessarily just win per se, but actually get a team lead and start this momentum that they need to get. Because if you've been watching this my commentary up to the point of my very first commentary from our homecoming game, the game, and this doesn't go just for football, but this goes for basketball, this goes for softball, baseball, goes for literally any other sport, even for individual sports like wrestling, swimming, etc. It's all about having that iron fist lead and that pressure. It's about that pressure. All right. Oh no. I think that hit somebody. No, that didn't hit. No, that didn't hit someone. No, that hit the gate. Thank God. It didn't hit anyone. It did not hit anyone. I'll say it again. Just to clarify, it did not hit anyone. It hit the gate. All right, and that's a catch. All right, and now that's 23 to nothing. 23 to 1 for the Southeast Seminoles. All right, and this is the last inning for the game since now, I think, is that it? No, that's not it. No, it's change of position, So really quickly now, for those of you that are just tuning on in, the scoreboard is now 24-1. 24 being the St. Stephen Falcons and 1 being the Southeast Seminoles. Currently now, this is the final inning, and this is the final inning because if the Southeast Seminoles do not get at least 5 points in here, and if they do not get any more points or at least a 5-point difference on this specific inning, the game will end by mercy rule. However, I do believe that the Southeast Seminoles will win, not win necessarily, but can try and attempt to at least get some sort of lead against the St. Stephen Falcons because they were able to score 1 point the last time they batted. So I really think that they can find that consistent range of actually being able to get that, not consistent, but just get that actual momentum going, because with other sports as well, and specifically with softball, it's all about getting that pressure, early game pressure, and keeping it. If they can sustain it, which the St. Stephen Falcons are having this consistency of being a little bit too greedy, if the Southeast Seminoles can actually focus on that greediness and punish them for it, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can actually win something here, or better yet, try and at least not have the mercy rule come into effect.
Better. Let's go, breathe. Go. Take the weight off. Breathe. Take the weight off, man. Take the weight off.
All right, number 17, let me get the scoreboard here. Number 17, Brianna Tobler is going to be batting up for the, almost hit her there. Thank God she missed. All right, but regardless, that was a miss and that was a foul ball. That was a foul ball here. And it'll be over the bat. And let's see what happens here. And that's a strike. 2 more and she's out. And that's strike 2. 1 more strike and she's out. And that's a hit. Oh, foul ball. Wait, that's a foul ball, unfortunately. I can already sense, unfortunately, I can sense a disappointment on number 17. However, if she would have literally aimed the ball literally anywhere else, she would have been able to actually bat the ball and actually get to second base and get more players out there, like I said. All right, and that's 1 out for the Southeast Seminoles and 2 more outs, and they're gone, and that's the end of the game. A Familia, number 13 for the Southeast Seminoles, will be batting up for the Lady Noles.
Let's go, Levy!
Ooh, and that hit her. I know she's going to field that one tomorrow, and luckily she'll be able to walk. Great job, number 13. Every point counts. And number 8 for the Southeast Seminoles. Kay Metters for number 8 for the Lady Noles. right here. So 2 more outs, like I said earlier, and that's the end of the game. And Thanos will come in and evaporate us all. But regardless, let's see how number 8 will be able to par up here. And that's a hit for the Southeast Seminoles. Make it to second base. And she's safe, making it to third base. Great job, Seminoles, and we got someone on first base. This is fantastic. Maybe the mercy rule won't be implemented. And number 7, Caitlin Poole will be batting for the Southeast Seminoles. And it seems like the Falcons here are having to reconsider their plan because now they realize the full wrath and power of the Southeast Seminoles and their full potential of the Lady Noles.
I can't go all the way back. I can't go that far. You're good. Just stay there. Hey, good rig, Caleb.
All right, and number 7, Caitlin Poole is really getting ready to bat for the Southeast Seminoles. And that's a strike. 2 more, and that's it. And she's out. And that's a hit for Caitlin Poole, and she's running it now, making it 24-2. 24-2 for the Southeast Seminoles by number 13. All right. So we're getting ready to pitch here. Once again, now that the Falcons realize the full potential and wrath of the Southeast Seminoles, I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can really come back here. If they literally get to 7 points, they can stop the mercy rule coming into effect and push the game to the 4th inning. Potentially, if they get it. However, they only have 2 outs remaining. If they make those 2 outs. Oh, and that's a hit. That's it. Is that an out? Oh, and that's an out. That is an out, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is an out. However, they still have 2 people on the field, potentially making the scoreboard much more lenient and easier.
Next up for the Lady Noles, number 12, Z. Howard.
And Z. Howard, the game is all on you. 3 strikes and you're out, as they say in baseball. And that's a foul ball. Now that I really think that the Southeast Seminoles can come back here. Like I said, the only reason why the Southeast Seminoles are losing 24-2 right now is because of the fact that they've been stuck pitching all game and they were not given at least a single opportunity besides this and the other 2 to actually bat. And now that they've got it, they're working what they got. And that's strike 1. And I believe that is the end of the game, and the Noles lose another one. Final score being 24-2. Once again, guys, if you guys want to tune in for the next commentary that I will be at, I'm your host, Xavier Asensio. Please tune in on March 2nd for 2nd, not 7th, the 2nd for our next commentary. And TriCaster, I'm your host, Xavier.Master Gaming, Xavier Asensio. Please tune in on our next TriCaster. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.